What's going on, y'all? I am your host, DHR2 Productions, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Chill Stream, episode 3. Now, we're going to be talking different topics from the future streaming service for Power Rangers to Sisi Stringer, the photo on Instagram and Twitter of her with a cigarette and a can of beer. And so we're going to be getting to the nitty gritty towards the end of the stream. So I think what we're going to be talking about is the future of Power Rangers on Netflix or any streaming services because I happened to go on Twitter, right? And it turns out that people actually already had a press conference on what is the future of the Power Rangers streaming services, whether it's going to be on Netflix or Paramount Plus or Disney Plus. I don't know, but I think I'm going to read to y'all what I have right here. It says Hasbro and E1 participated in the JP Morgan 49th Annual Global Technology, Media, and Communication Conference. E1 CEO Darren Trope had the following to say about Power Rangers, and this is what he had to say, y'all. And I'm going to read to you. Power Rangers is being worked on now with a creative steward and a big streaming partner. We haven't brought that to an announcement stage yet. So what that means is that they're pretty much saying that Dino Fury season 2 is going to be Netflix exclusive. So next month they're going to be bringing some of episodes of Dino Fury season 1 to Netflix, but next year season 2 will be Netflix exclusive home. And I listen. I hope to God that this is true because we need a proper home for Power Rangers because I feel like ever since it aired on Nickelodeon, the franchise hasn't been. I'm Jesus Christ, I can't even talk. The franchise hasn't been the same since then. And what I mean by that is that every season there's an eighth episode. They go on a 6-month hiatus. Summer spoilers air in the UK. Then the new episodes come back on, whether it's in August or next month. That's a crappy way to promote Power Rangers and how you handle the franchise. And apparently, I feel like Power Rangers as a Netflix exclusive could be the perfect home. I mean, whether it's true or not, I just hope and pray that this franchise can be the perfect home for streaming services. They already have Mighty Morphin and Ninja Steel and Beast Morphers. And truth be told, I just hope that it's the right call because we really do need a good streaming service for a kids show. So that way, kids and adults wouldn't have to get up early 8 o'clock in the morning to watch a brand new episode of Power Rangers. Because I know I've stated this 1,000 times. I mean, Big Tank, if you love Ninja Steel, more power to you. Me, I just think it's a throwaway season. And there's a reason why I said that. Because when Ninja Steel came out, I fully believed that this was going to be different. But I feel like they wanted to be down on charge so bad. And Ninja Steel was a train wreck. No high stakes, no character development for each Ranger, no unmarked fights. And tell me this. What was the point of the actors doing martial arts training on their social media accounts? But they couldn't even do that on a TV show. Hashtag Hollywood sucks. So you wouldn't allow actors with sports backgrounds do their own stunts on the show, but you want to limit that fight scenes for about a few seconds. I'm like, this ain't Power Rangers. If you actually think about it, Power Rangers used to be a show when you can allow actors to do their own stunts that can only last like about a minute or 2 minutes. Nowadays, there's just about a minute or a few seconds. That's just a waste of time. Like, give the actors enough screen time to show up their own stunts. So that's all right, man. It's all good. Yeah, all right. But yeah, man. Getting back on track. I truly think that Netflix is the perfect home for Power Rangers because I feel like to me the franchise. Why can't I talk right? The franchise as a whole should be a good home for the franchise because, like I said, I don't think everybody wants to, pay for Paramount Plus or Disney Plus. I think Netflix, if you have Netflix, it's going to be exclusive, and I truly think that it can work. I mean, thanks to Chance Perez, he already just spoiled it himself. I need something to drink, man. I cannot talk right, bro. All right, get myself together. So, Power Rangers, the feature streaming services on the franchise, I believe that it should be going to Netflix. It belongs to Netflix. It belongs on Netflix. It should be the perfect home for Netflix. There's that. Let me put the invite in. I don't know why I can't even talk. All right, so let's jump on the second topic, and which is the Sisi Stringer photos on Instagram and Twitter. Now, I saw this on Twitter earlier, and I couldn't help but to see people complaining about her having a cigarette in her hand and a can of beer or a Bud Light. Okay, let me explain something to y'all. Sissy is a listen. She's a grown woman. She can do whatever she wants. So how you gonna sit there and get mad at her and complain about her having a cigarette in her hand, taking a smoke break behind the scenes, and then having a Bud Light in her hand? She's a grown woman. If she needed some downtime, some alone time to relax after a long day of shooting, fight scenes, I say have at it. So why complain? Why cry? Why act like, having a cigarette in your hand and a can of beer is a turnoff? And I think those who are saying this are simps. There are literally simps everywhere that were that will be thirsty for any female celebrity. And y'all want to say that women who smoke cigarettes are a turnoff, but yet y'all the ones that smoke cigarettes. So how you going to sit there and complain about Sissy Stringer having a cigarette in her hand and a can of Bud Light? So what? Y'all out against the end of the world. And I swear to you, ever since this casting of Melina was announced, literally everybody that was crying and complaining about that are still doing it now. And now you want to cry about her having a cigarette in her hand and a can of beer? Really? That little small little issue that you claim that is unattractive is a turnoff, and yet y'all the ones that drink and smoke at the same time. Are you serious, y'all? And of course, I had to tune them out on Twitter, and then I get cursed out by one person. because he's trying to act all dumb and everything. Don't know what I'm talking about. Like, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Literally, every time I try to chew people out when I'm trying to correct them, they want to act stupid. Like you're the one that is dumb. I mean, seriously, it's just it's just a photo of her holding a cigarette in her hand and a can of Bud Light. That's what grown-ups do. It's for adults. Grow up. It's not the end of the world. And y'all having a hissy fit over it? Bro, I mean, come on, bro. I don't know if she read what I said to her on a Instagram page. I don't know if she's gonna like my Instagram or she's gonna respond to it. I'm not sure. I just hope that she read what I said because there's so many simps for her, crying about her having a cigarette in her hand. And I'm gonna show you what everybody's talking about right here, if y'all can see it. So if you haven't followed Sisi Stringer on Instagram, and no, she doesn't have a Twitter. So this is what I was talking about: a can of Bud Light and a cigarette. What's wrong with this picture? Nothing. She's just taking a smoke break. So who are y'all to judge her for having a cigarette in her hand? It's ridiculous. I mean, I had never seen people get so offended over a female that has a cigarette in her hand and a can of Bud Light. Only simps do that. It's embarrassing. She probably didn't even see my comment, but or probably she's just taking it to heart. Who knows? But I just want to let her know that, what I'm saying, don't worry about what these simps think. That's what they do. They're thirsty for you. That's what it is. They don't like when women smoke or drink. I think that's my biggest problem. Hey man, listen, if y'all wanna jump in and talk to me for man, I'll send an invite in the chat, you know. Um um what I'm saying? I'm just inviting, what I'm saying, inviting y'all in. Sorry if I'm not talking right. I'm just bored out of my mind. But yeah, man, these internet people are just irritating. Like, come on, y'all. Like, what I'm saying? At the end of the day, she did a good job as Melina, despite not having enough screen time. I thought she killed it. What's the problem? And it's even worse on Twitter when the one tweet I tweeted out earlier on the WishCon page, and everybody liked my tweet. I only got like 12 likes on my tweet. No, actually, that's not me. But I just feel like people just need to grow up and stop crying. I mean, just imagine, you know, a Power Ranger actor, is smoking, a cigarette or weed or drinking a bottle of Bud Light. Y'all will go off on that. The same way y'all doing to Sissy Stringer. It is so embarrassing. All right, like I said, man, if y'all want to jump into the invite, I put it in the chat. So yeah, fans are ridiculous. Literally every time when a certain celebrity from their childhood is smoking a cigarette, like, come on, they're just like us normal people. They do what we do. Only difference is they're famous and rich, and we're poor and normal. But guess what? We have responsibilities too, just like they do. So who are we to judge them on their lifestyle? Like I said about Cece Stringer, if she choose to smoke a cigarette on a cigarette break and drink a can of a Bud Light, she can do that. So what's the problem? All right, let's jump onto another topic. So I don't know if y'all noticed, today is the day that we lost George Floyd. The world witnessed the murder on TV at the hands of the police officer who was found guilty in all three charges. It was the media that went into outbursts, the riots, the peaceful protests against police brutality, and kneeling on the neck on African American people. George Floyd's death changed everybody and inspired people from all over the world, everybody of color, to just come together and love one another. That is literally one of the main reasons why this is how it is today, even in the pandemic. And I've stated in my last video about George Floyd, it's the only way for us to end racism is that we come together as a community. I don't care what color you are. We all need to come together and just support one another and love one another. I mean, we may not like each other's lifestyle, but we're going to love each other at the end of the day. God didn't put us on this earth to hate one another. He put us on this earth to love one another. It says so in the Bible. The Bible says you're supposed to love one another. And why do you think, we have so many Karen incidents all the time? The amount of racism that is still going on today, the hatred people have in their hearts that are so toxic that they're becoming bitter, ambitious, and angry. Racism was taught, not the system. Correct? You know what I'm saying? Just correct me if I'm wrong. So my heart goes out to the Floyd family. I know they're out there fighting for justice. And I think the officer who killed Brandon, it's not funny, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm being serious about this, bro. I'm being dead serious because what happened to George Floyd is a serious matter. It changed everybody, it changed the world. Nobody deserves the hate. Racism is still alive. And if we could somehow talk to one another, hit each other up, whether it's on Instagram and Twitter, or invite each other on the stream yard. Honestly, the way we stop is if we actually cared about others no matter what. Exactly. Exactly. I like what you said, Bo Ron. I like what you said. And that comment alone just lets me know that, look, everybody may be different, but we as the people have a right to control our minds and control our system. And let me tell you something else too. Let me tell you something else too. The Black Lives Matter in the UK, the Black Lives Matter activist was shot in the head, and she's currently in critical condition. And some people say that they're turning on each other. That makes no sense. I thought when you're a Black Lives Matter activist, you're supposed to motivate your people into coming together to a peaceful protest. I mean, peaceful protest to end police brutality. But instead, what I'm hearing is that somebody said that the Black Lives Matter is turning on each other, and it's because of an activist got shot in the head, and she's in critical condition. And you want to know what's really messed up about this whole situation? Ever since George Floyd passed away, somehow everybody is still not getting the picture. And every time I go on social media, I see nothing but ignorance, racist, judgmental people that do not do their own research. They think they know it all. So, so this is 1 year later. Today was that day that he got his life taken by one officer. Exactly. Raphael, what's up? I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name right. Um, Rafael Navarro. I think I might say your name right, but yeah, nice for you to stop by. And they are, because here's the thing: when they're like that, they don't even understand the situation unless it happens to them. The same way when COVID-19 started back in March, everything changed for the worse. So, okay, I don't know what happened. Try to find a man, but uh, something happened. So, man, but let's talk about some video games for a minute and get off the politics stuff because I know I go on and off. So, you know, I don't know what's going on with Inway, not Inway, but another Rhyme Studios because I know that there's been some 40 something $1 million deal from I don't know AT&T because I don't know if we're listen. I don't know if we're ever going to get you know another update on MK11 because I've been hearing something about Reptile being a DOC, Smoke. Um, who else? I think somebody was supposed to be like a DOC. I don't know. Now, honestly, I feel like to me, Nether Realm Studios are in trouble. So we don't know if we're gonna ever get a new Mortal Kombat game. And personally, I feel like we need another Mortal Kombat game that doesn't involve timeline or time traveling because each time when you do that, man, it kills it for me. Now, Avatar: The Last Airbender is one of my favorite anime cartoons growing up. I used to always be. I think I need something to drink, y'all, because I'm losing my mind over here, bro. I'm telling you. All right, so yeah, Avatar: The Last Airbender has been one of my favorite cartoons growing up, and Aang is an interesting character. Now, a few names. I mean, I know what Tara is, but all the other characters I forgot because it's been years since I've watched the anime show. But yeah, I feel like to me they should make a comeback, but I'm afraid they do it's going to be a lot worse because the classics was already good enough for me. So I feel like 2008 was the best run, and the anime. I mean, the animation was fluid, nicely fluid. It got better over time, and I feel like I was like watching an American anime version of Avatar: The Last Airbender. But if Avatar were to be anime for real in Japan, I think the animation would have been way fluid. I mean, The Last Airbender in 2008, I think it was season 4 or 5, I'm not sure, but 2008 season was really good. I know Kushi now. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm gonna check them out soon. I'm excited for the Flash movie, but hopefully they don't go. Well, I don't know what's going on with Warner Bros. And Zack Snyder, but I did a video in the past about him being tortured by the company, how the way they didn't really support him doing his own take on the Snyder's cut. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Snyder's cut version is good. The problem is it was 4 hours long. And then when I did my review of it live, I look, I almost I was almost burnt out to be honest with you. So hopefully he's not gonna make that mistake again. And why do I feel like um if the Mortal Kombat reboot did the same thing Zack Snyder did with an extended cut with certain scenes that were cut from the film, like the longer fights, I would have bet you they would have put that in the different version of the movie. I think everybody would have loved it. I mean, I'm telling you, like it would have worked. But as far as the Flashpoint movie, I don't know if he's gonna come back and direct it or not because you know how Zack Snyder is when it comes to his slow motions. It can get boring in times, but I feel like his movie feels comic book accurate. You know what I'm saying? I haven't seen Zenkaichi yet. I heard it had a lot of mixed reviews, in my opinion. I don't know, man. I feel like Super Sentai has gotten goofy nowadays. They keep hiring goofy young actors with serious emotions. I'm like, what is this? Back then, when Super Sentai was serious in times, they had some goofy moments, but when it came to multi parts and some serious moments, that's when things got good. But nowadays, you know what I'm saying, Sentais are just I don't know, it just got goofy and I couldn't hardly get into it. Especially when it comes to Red Rangers nowadays. Every Red Ranger they cast that's gotten too young or goofy. I don't know. That's why I haven't been able to keep up with Sentais. I mean, I know of them, but I just don't watch them that often. And plus, it's not even free on YouTube. I mean, here's the thing: there are some free Sentai series on YouTube, like Live Man or even Flashman, Jetman, Car Ranger, Mask Man, Danger Man, uh, Goggle 5, or Goggle V. Like, those are free, but the Metal Hero shows are also free as well when it comes to Tokusatsu Network. Now, let's talk about the Tokusatsu World channel for a minute. I don't understand how they're going to create a channel, but they can put some Sentai shows on there. But if you got Gold Ranger on there, here's the thing. One time I tried to watch episode 1 of Gold Ranger. Like, it was not even there because it was blocked. So why would you create a content channel and put out shows that were blocked? I don't understand why Tokusatsu channel does that. I mean, they got some Kamen Rider shows, seasons, movies, and they got some, Metal Hero shows. That's good, man. Like, that's good that you got your peers into Sentai. It's good that you're introducing them to Sentai before Power Rangers. Like, that's really cool. I mean, my little cousin, saying she doesn't know what Sentai is, but she does remind more of Power Rangers stuff. I guess that was the only show that everybody recognized and remembers. But I gotta fully explain to them what Super Sentai actually is. They know Power Rangers were made in Japan, but they don't know the full history of Super Sentai and Power Rangers, of how they came about. So maybe I'll have to educate them one day, if they want to be educated. So yeah. Uh, yeah, I do too, because Godzilla versus Kong was an excellent film. Despite my issues with the human characters, I feel like Godzilla, King Kong, and Mega Godzilla carried the movie for me, especially when it comes to the practical effects, the visual effects, the CGI, and the neon energy colors. It worked for Godzilla. And like you said, Godzilla was my absolute favorite character of this movie, because how you going to beat Godzilla? I mean, Godzilla was the king of, MonsterVerse, the king of, Tokusatsu. Uh, Now, the film itself, I did, I already did my review of it in the past. Go check it out. And yeah, I mean, I still love Godzilla versus Kong. Do I see myself watching it again? No, because based on what I saw, I'm satisfied for what I've seen. So I'm grateful. What's your thoughts on Gokaiger? Gokaiger is better than Super Mega Force altogether. Because let's face it, Gokaiger is the perfect Sentai anniversary season that pays perfect tribute to all of the Sentai teams. Like, they basically got everything right. Unlike Super Mega Trash, that was Super Mega Force. Even the cast hated the season. So that lets me know that the cast of Super Mega Force agreed on, so they agreed on why the fans hated the series, because of Jonathan Disaster, the guy who ruined Super Mega Force altogether, because he's a huge Sentai fanboy, and he abused 90% of Sentai footage instead of using something different. And the one thing I do not like about Mega Force is how they use the Mega Force suits, transforming them into Gokaiger suits. That's stupid. And I can admit the first episode was good to me, but I felt like it still suffered a lot of issues. Bad editing, the worst finales of all things. Even the extended version couldn't fix everything. Even Sierra Hannah, who was his mother, by the way, so shout out to her. Uh, even she went on an interview saying that how bad the season was, and she hated it just like we do. So I was like, thank God we finally have a ranger that can relate to our issues. And I don't know about Andrew Gray. I know it's not his fault, but Troy is the worst character and the worst Red Ranger ever. Him and Emma were just god awful. Super Mega Force was a big super mega trash letdown. Go Kaiser, on the other hand, was a breadwinner. They did everything right. Transformed every Sentai team, and every time they morph into different Sentai teams, their themes saw plays, and it worked. Power Rangers Super Mega Force can't even do that. So I got to give it the same time once again. Same with Samurai. Shikin Shirt was better than Samurai season, in my opinion. When Power Rangers Samurai came out, it was trash from beginning to end. I knew something was wrong with it, and I regret watching it. So both Shinkenger and Gokaiger are 10 times better than the American version. So yeah, I can't wait to see the new Venom movie too. But a lot of people have been complaining about how Carnage has white teeth. But did they not do they research that Carnage does have some little bit of white teeth in it? But it is what it is. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You can't please everybody. So I sent the invite in the chat so y'all can come talk to me. So if not, then I'm gonna end the stream off. Maybe one day I'm a I'm gonna learn and work the Discord, because if I do see Retro Gamer Star, I'm blocking him straight up. Oh, by the way, who seen um oh, Army of the Dead. Now, who's seen Army of the Dead? Because when I seen it on Netflix, I was hooked from beginning to end. The action, the cinematography, the practical effects look good, and Zack Snyder, I think he has a bright future ahead of him, because the way he directs this movie, especially when it came to the action scenes. Now, picture Zack Snyder, directing Mortal Kombat for the sequel. I would bet you the fight scenes would have been great, and the plot of the story would have been good, and hopefully there would be some demon quality. So hold up, we got an invite. Yo, what's going on?
Nothing much.
How you been?
Great.
Yeah, I see questions about the Sentai, and I haven't really watched
Yeah.
current ones
Mhm.
because I just fell off.
So far, during this week, I finished my last. I wouldn't say my first ever Kamen Rider being
Yeah,
being Exit, and I like the show.
Hmm.
I honestly agree with what you said about Super Mega Force and the misuse of stock footage and not editing out some certain Sunday suits. But honestly, I feel like if they done more with Gia rather than not anything at all, that would have been
Yeah,
a decent part of the show. And for me, she is as memorable, but also as forgettable as Ronnie from Overdrive.
I, I agree. I mean, I
And
respect your opinion though.
and that's
Um,
from her from both of them being a part of an anniversary season. And still, I still love Power Rangers to this day, regardless of how many times I wonder if seasons could have turned out better, if if there was better writing or in in terms of how they utilize characters in a story, which I gravitate to more than just fight scenes and it being sadly turned into an effects reel.
yeah. And what you said right there about the writing, I couldn't agree with you more because I felt like when Super Mega Force came out, or Mega Force that scenes in general, I
Yeah,
feel like they're trying too hard to be like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. And I gotta admit, the first episode of Mega Force, it felt like the first episode of the other dumpster. But the problem is, once the voice acting
yeah,
starts, it went downhill for me. Then I feel like they didn't even do the unwanted fight scenes like the Mighty Morphin days, and they had a chance to do it. But season two of Super Mega Force, I feel like a lot of that was wasted all the way through. The writing was terrible. A lot of
yeah.
episodes were just bad, especially the RPM tribute. That was worst.
Ooh, that
And,
hurt me because
phew,
RPM was one of my favorite seasons, and the disrespect was just there. And I know that wasn't the writer's fault because Zachar was unfortunately the problem of this whole debacle of Super Mega Flip.
yeah. And when I found out that he got fired after Super Mega Force, I was happy because now I feel like
Yeah,
Power Rangers has a chance to redeem himself. I
yeah,
mean, to redeem itself, excuse me. Starting with Dino Charge season one. Now, when Dino
yeah,
Charge came out, when Triple M returned, I feel like I was watching Power Rangers again. You know, with the story and the writing and the acting, it was really really good. You know, and when the Gold Ranger debuted and the finale season one was just, it was everything I have hoped for. High stakes. But
same.
when season two started, it was just a mess.
Yeah. I'll say this: where parents fell off for mainly me and my nephews, since we grew up watching PR and later with Netflix watching all the PR seasons,
Mm.
we we fell off of Samurai. Well, I fell off in Megaforce because right around the time there was a couple episodes of Gothasia on YouTube, which was my first Sentai. And
Oh, that's
I
cool.
could I could say this. I would have been completely comfortable with them skipping Gothasia, but I can see why they didn't because of that final arc.
Yeah. And you know what? Here's the thing with Mega Force and stuff, Uncle Sager. I can see why they chose that, as an anniversary season because one, it reminded them of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Especially with the helmets. They brought back the mouthpiece. We haven't seen that since Time Force or Mighty Morphin. Um, and I'm not really a fan of the costumes, but because I feel like there was too much white from the bottom.
Yeah,
But
I could agree, but also for me, the suits kind of remind me of the Changeman suits. I'm not saying that in a bad way, and then aesthetic choice, I think they could have gone more with the angel theme, with having the whites be accents and have their main color be their respective colors.
true, very true, man. Um, and I like when you said that they could have went from Go Kaiju instead for 20th anniversary because that would have worked.
Yes, that would have worked very well. I would say that would have been. I think that would have been swapped out between Orion and Dia. For me, I could see that working for the first season with Gia, then have it later organically be swapped with Orion on the later
Right.
hand. We have seasons like Lost Galaxy and the often but most unforgettable Animators. And that could have been a great tie into the wider burst of Power Rangers versus we have Power Rangers on us helping us for years with In Space, Theo, and MMPR. And
Right.
that way we could do some great character moments with past PR actors reprising their roles as characters like Scott, for instance.
Yeah.
And that would have been a perfect foil for Noah in terms of being the only sadly the only um um black character. And that
Yeah.
would have spoken volumes to we're just more than Rangers. We are our own people.
I like when you sit there. That makes perfect sense. I feel like with the season two finale of Super Mega Force, it could have been a whole lot better because
Yeah,
you know they bring back past Rangers to fly out to New Zealand to film just one episode for a finale, and I feel like
which
they try to be like Gokaiger, but the problem with that is that it was poorly executed,
yeah,
and especially when Tommy came back as the White Ranger, helping to save the little boy from you know a car about to fall
yeah,
off the bridge,
yeah. Even though
and
that was
they yeah
ripped from Spider-Man, but other than that, they could have done a different scene that didn't feel like they were giving Tommy most of the spotlight. Which I can understand that from a character point of view, but it could have been done so differently and having him interact with the team. That was
yeah
mainly my huge issue with the 25th anniversary because all the past actors that we got back, I felt like they were there.
yeah.
Well, most of them rather than none.
I mean, here's the thing: the extended version could have been on Nickelodeon when Tommy was fighting his clone self.
Yeah.
But when Nickelodeon originally aired the anniversary special that night, all we get was him morphing into Zero Ranger One Red real quick and getting into action, then transforming into Mighty Morphin White, and then all to Mighty Morphin Green towards the end. But we didn't get no unmorphed fight between him and his clone. But when Nickelodeon aired the um um, um uploaded the extended fight version online, we could have aired the whole thing on TV. That would have been the ultimate highlight of the season. But for some reason, I feel like Tommy needs to stop coming back in Team Up Special because
Yeah. Honestly, there's some things I did like about Legendary Battle, but those scenes were too short for my liking. The scenes with Carter and Dana, to be specific, that felt like they were there, and at least the actors liked what they had written, even though it was shorter. I mean,
exactly,
it was great to see Leo again, and yeah, the writing in Legendary Battle, if it wasn't done by Zachary, I could imagine seeing this being a two-parter or even a three-parter, depending on how it would be framed by the person directing and seeing how the writing goes, even for the whole show. And I would say how they did the legendary battle. I would have preferred if it gone in the middle instead of being at the very end.
exactly. So, but though, at the end of the day, it's still part of Power Rangers history. Whether it's good or bad, everybody is gonna like it and dislike it. If you like it, more power to you. But for me, I just felt like it took me out of the franchise for a while. But like I said, man, Power Rangers is Power Rangers, and Super Sentai and Super Sentai. So yeah. So with that being said, that's going to be it for this episode of Chill Stream. I thank everybody for coming out, shining with me. It's been fun like always. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, make sure you do so. Hit me up on Instagram and Twitter, and please um thumbs up if you want to. So yeah, y'all take it easy. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace out.
Peace.